And we are going to have the 14th Scrapstar series commence. Alumento going Sparky, Popper, and Ram. YoshiBowser going in with the Slap and Seeky. Starting things off, Alu going in double Sparky, gonna try to just box through these two arms and Barq, and is going to be able to succeed. Gets a bit of light damage and finds an opportunity to get that Dragon Arm. Going to get quickly caught off by that Seeky explosion though, dealing some arm damage and immediately stunning Alu. Both players going back and forth, so far holding about even. Barq helping out with some of the trades, getting a couple of quick pokes in. Alu very focused on just going after YoshiBowser, isn't too worried about Barq and those little extra punches that he's been throwing out. Rush is gonna come out, just barely manages to connect, and Alu gonna take Yoshi down to critical health after 260 damage. Gonna be able to make that Rush connect, gets 360, a lot of damage there, and both players basically at critical now after some very strong Rush exchanges. Gets another blast in, and Yoshi now looking for one more hit to take Alu down, and it's going to be a hot slap.
Attention.
Heading into this next round. Oh, God. Heading into this next round, both players choosing to stick with their main loadouts. Alumento finally finding an opportunity off of one of these stunts to get a grab combo. And that's going to put him in a stronger position with that Dragon Arm, but quickly loses it to another Seeky explosion. Barq smacking down Alumento, being able to charge up their punches alongside Byte and Barq. It allows for some really scary combos and setups, and just those side pokes there too. A lot of people just aren't ready for them to kind of come out from the side. That is going to be a very strong rush. 200 damage. Not going to be able to follow up with the Mander or a second volley, but still managing to get a decent amount of damage. Both players very even on health again. But Alumento going to get stunned out, and that's going to be a KO. YoshiBowser taking the first game. Oh cool, I forgot to fix up the overlay.
You're under arrest. Long arms of the law.
Wait, Tom? By the way, I didn't really say respond or anything. Like, I'm doing alright. I've been working through a lot of stuff. There's a lot of chaos going on in the world for me. I'm trying to make through with what I can. But, yeah, it's life. What can I say? What can you do? Heading into our next match. I'm looking to try to take us somewhere a little more up close and personal via Dolce. This could be a very tricky place, as this has a lot more narrow of a hallway. There's so much less room to really work with. If Alu is able to corner YoshiBowser, he can get pinned down really hard. This also means that Barq has a lot less freedom to move around, which means that Alu might have an easier time being able to get some good aim and some strong shots in at him. Starting things off, Alu switching over to the Ram. Gonna have it on the non-Dragon Arm. Gonna force it to stay a lot smaller, but that instant knockdown and being able to hit Barq in the process is going to be very beneficial. Starting things off though, beyond this couple of knockdowns, YoshiBowser holding onto a light lead and is effectively pushing Alu back into the corner. Though Alu slowly starting to find their way out and is starting to pressure YoshiBowser. Trying to find a way in and end up slipping into the other side of the map. Not really finding any solid ground to really work with. Gonna be able to... Going to be able to avoid the Mander though. Alumento just very narrowly making a very important dodge just to keep themselves in this game. Another stun into a grab, and that's going to be some tempo Alumento might be looking for. Gets another grab and is now just a rush from taking YoshiBowser down. Tries to set up, gets the knockdown. Just a little bit more damage, and there comes it. The rush gets cancelled by Barq. YoshiBowser quickly charging up another rush and is trying to set himself up so he can use it, but a Slapamander is going to be able to knock Alu down. After all that, a very unfortunate end as Barq, the goodest of boys, saves YoshiBowser yet again. Alumento almost had an amazing comeback off of that one dodge from the Mander. But it just wasn't enough. Feisty Doggo Boy will punch down any rushes, any attacks. As if you position yourself so that Barq is not hit, he's probably gonna hit you, and then you'll lose your rush. But this is gonna work out for Alumento. Gets the 335 off of the rush and starts getting a little bit of strong tempo. Gets a nice grab. Barq quickly trying to close in the distance and is going to try to pincer Alu, but Alu just getting some nice pressure. These good hits. Gonna get caught out by that rush though. That's gonna be 380 damage. Alu not able to get the grab off of that confirm as Barq saves his master, but not long enough as another chain of attacks is going to allow Alu to bring the score to 1-1. Diving straight into this next round. Alu starting off with the first hit and is going to knock Barq down in the process, giving themselves a little bit of breathing space from the barrage that Barq possesses. Tries to set up for another rush, going to be able to connect that wide range of the Ram, allowing Alu to connect for 245 damage and gets a stun into a punish. Alumento starting off with some very strong momentum here is finally going to get knocked down by YoshiBowser, but still in a very strong position and is just looking to do a little bit more damage to take Yoshi down. One more Ram is going to be enough, and that brings our score to 1-1. Lol the I don't judge my bracket descriptions. They're very important bracket descriptions. Baby strap. They're very important, okay? It's a great way to communicate with the participants so that they know which matches are being streamed. It's master strategy. It's big brain plays like that that allow the stream to be as efficient as possible. Yeah, Alu's doing a remarkable job considering, to our knowledge at least, this is probably the first time in a very long while since Alu might have played ARMS. Diving right into our next match, Yoshi gonna take us to a counter pick or a response, going straight back to the spine ring. It worked out very exceptionally well for him, but it might have been just the fact that he was dealing with double Sparky and he just had an easy time working around that. Where now with that Ram on the field, it's helping Alu just take Barq down so many more times, get some really good punishes, and just strong pressure. Starting things off, both players relatively close to each other on health, trading blows back and forth. Yoshi's going to be the first one ready with Rush, but it's going to be Alumento who throws theirs first, connects for 305, and is now just looking for a little bit more damage to get the confirm. That explode, the Slapamander lifted Alu just high enough that the Siki did not blow them out. And that's going to allow Alu to survive like 200, 300 more potential damage that could have came along from there. That wouldn't have made a difference though, as Alu was able to find a little bit more damage in the end and takes the round. YoshiBowser going to make an adjustment to his loadout, puts the Siki down, and he's going to work a little bit more with the Megawatt. Alu gonna be able to find a nice grab. It's gonna start closing in, get some good pressure, trying to get some more damage in there, capitalizing on the fear that Yoshi has right now, preventing Yoshi from really being able to use that rush, and just narrowly getting out, staying out of the way of Yoshi's rush. Yoshi missing pretty harsh, and that's gonna allow Alumento just to keep this momentum, this pressure up. But YoshiBowser gonna be able to slip right out of the rush and continues on with this onslaught. Megawatt going to be able to connect. Yoshi start bringing Alu to critical health, and that Manner's going to connect. Megawatt just a little too slow is going to prevent YoshiBowser from being able to get that, but he does get a Slap-a-Mander at the end, bringing the score to 1-1 on this round.
Finish.
Heading right into our next match. Alu going to start off just slightly on top, is not able to get that Dragon Arm just yet, but is focusing on trying to find some manner of a knockdown and confirm with that Sparky, but it's not going to be able to follow it up. Tries to set up for the rush, but a Slap-a-Mander is going to be able to quickly knock Mento down. The rush going to connect for 305, and now Yoshi in a pretty rough place, already at critical health. Alu still has the vast majority of theirs, still retaining a lot of health. Trying to set something up, trying to get out of the way of some of these attacks, this pressure. But Yoshi's starting to push back and is pressuring Alu, and this rush is going to be enough. Yoshi taking Alumento down 2-1, and we'll be moving on in the brackets.
All Barq, all Byte.
That first little hiccup aside, I think that was a really great first match for the stream. That was actually really fun. Good games. Both players with some impeccable plays there. I love that pressure. I love those setups. Yoshi is so good with the Siki. I love it.